again, welcome to today's attempt at the TimeGuessr puzzle. This is a game that tests your history knowledge and your geography knowledge. We'll be given a series of 5 photos, just like this one. For each one we have to say, where in the world was it taken? But we also have to say, when in history was it taken? Anywhere from 1900 to the present day. There's points, of course. The closer you are on the map, and the closer you are on the timeline. I usually aim for about 2/3 to 3/4, but of course it very much depends how easy the pictures happen to be. So let's see how we get on today, and of course feel free to play along at home and leave your guesses in the comments. Clearly, this is the Great Wall of China, and it looks, is that 2003 or 2009? That is very annoying, but it's not quite clear enough. I think it's a 9. Is there really no others that are any clearer? That is incredibly frustrating. I think you'd have cameras rather than smartphones in 03 or 09. I mean, it could be a 5, it could be an 8. I do think it looks like 2009 though. I'll be annoyed if I'm 6 years out. I'm not going to be more than 6 years out because there's no way it's 2001 or 02. Right, what else? Do I want to try and work out what part of the Great Wall it is? It's quite a well-preserved part. How much do I need to zoom in before the wall appears? And where actually is it in relation to Beijing? You can see it from space, but you can't even see it on a map. This is very annoying because I've been to Beijing, I've been to the wall, but I don't remember which direction we went from the centre to get to the wall. Well, that's very unhelpful. It started to go into Chinese. Oh, am I going to bother trying to get these extra points, or am I just going to zoom out and go for the centre of Beijing? It's very annoying, but I can clearly identify that it is the Great Wall, and the Great Wall just doesn't appear on the map. Or maybe I'm just looking in hopelessly the wrong place. Or maybe the fact that the wall is so long is why it doesn't appear. I don't know. The wall went all the way to the coast, didn't it? So maybe let's go on the east of the city. Let's just go there. Why not? I'll be close enough. It was 2009. Phew, I can read. And it was a little bit further northeast, but 4,500 points for location out of 5,000. I'll definitely take that. What about this one? This looks a bit trickier. Is it in England or Britain? We do have a British flag, but of course it could have been in several other parts of the world. Shaving saloon. Woodington Taylor, first floor. Ah, that says Strand. Okay, so it is just in the centre of London. So the next question is, what year? What is going on here? Do we have a monarch that I should be recognising? The quality of the photo is just not good enough. It could be Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. I don't think it is, but it could be. If it's not, it's going to be King George VI, or whoever he came even before him. Are there any cars? Everything is horse-drawn, which clearly makes it seem like it's going to be pretty old. But at the same time, it's a pretty good quality photo. I might go 1936. I think there were some coronations in that year. So we'll go, yeah, I could be way off. It could be 20 years earlier, but I just cannot tell. Right, if that is the Strand, then it is here. This road, maybe? let's just plonk it there. Again, we're going to be pretty close. I'm going to be closer than I was on the first one. I'm just a bit more worried about the year this time. It was 39. It was King George II and Queen Elizabeth. Okay. Queen George VI, sorry. So, yes, I did mention both of those people. And I was pretty close on the year. Yeah, I will definitely take that. Oh, another black and white one. Oh dear, this one looks like it might be a lot trickier. Does that say ZB? Is that a clue to the location? I doubt it. That's definitely a Z though in that number plate as well. And I think on that one. So my first thought is Zurich. Is there any other clues? That says Hallerstolak Central or something like that. Still could be Zurich then, couldn't it? Unfall something. Winter something. Restaurant Schützengarten. I mean, that sounds Swiss or German. There's a lot of cars around. So it's going to be later than the previous one, which was 39. Confiserie Hugenan. Yeah, I mean, that sounds a bit French, doesn't it? So Switzerland is going to be a great shout. Part French, part German. What does that say? Abisrider. None of those are place names that I recognise. I'm going Zurich, I think. So the only question is what year. These cars look like 60s to me. Oh, there's even a Swiss flag up there. It's definitely Switzerland. Helps if I look at the whole photo, really, doesn't it? But the good news is I said Zurich before I even noticed that. So that makes me look better, I think. I'm glad I didn't say something completely different. That says Winterthur. Finally, there is a place that I've heard of. I don't know where Winterthur is in Switzerland, but I'm going for Zurich. I think I might just leave it at 1962, you know. That's what it defaults to, because it's basically the midpoint-ish between the earliest possible option and the latest. Right, where are we going? Zurich. Yeah, Zurich is pretty close to Winterthur, so I'm pretty confident it's Zurich. The cars are one clue. The sign to Winterthur is another clue. I suppose I was going to just plonk it down and say we might as well go there. I suppose I should go near a bridge. This is a bridge. Let's go there. 58. But 39 metres away. You know you're close when it's measured in metres. There we go. Very happy with that. I'm happy to only be 4 years off. Oh dear, we've got another black and white one. That is a very American looking road sign. What does that say? Pinelands Cultural Society. Okay. That's not helpful because I've got no idea where Pinelands is. Oh, Atlantic City Expressway. That's Atlantic City. That doesn't massively help me. I'm thinking somewhere near Atlanta, Georgia or Louisiana or something. Excuse me. What year do we think? I mean, there's so few clues to the year here. There's no cars. Although there's a one-way sign. So maybe that means there were some cars around. I can't even see the outfits and the dress style that well. I mean, the whole style looks pretty old. I was thinking of leaving it at 62 again, but the more I look at it, the more I think it's going to be a bit more modern than that. That's a relatively modern looking. Is it jeans? I think maybe it's going to be 70s or 80s. Could even be later than that, but I cannot bring myself to go later than the 80s when it's a black and white photo. Even though it might be a dirty trick. I'm going to go 82. Now, can I find Atlantic City? There's Atlanta. Is Atlantic City a suburb, or is it anything to do with Atlanta? Or is it something completely different? Am I just getting confused by the similarity between the words Atlanta and Atlantic? I mean, it feels like it's got to be somewhere close to this coast. It's going to be Atlantic coast rather than Pacific coast, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's on the other coast and it's called Atlantic City because it's a road to the Atlantic. There we go, there's Atlantic City, okay. Interesting. So do I go here, or do I go where I was originally looking? I've got to go here really, haven't I? Can I find Pinelands anywhere? Not obviously. What does this sign say? Don't know, it's disappeared. Why does it keep disappearing? I want to see what this sign says. That's very unhelpful. I don't know, let's just go there. It was 83 and it was New Jersey. It was pretty close to Atlantic City. There we go. I'll definitely take that as well. Unbelievably good so far. We were already, even if I get 0 on this, I'm on 76%. Right, this one. Utrecht, Haarlem, Schiphol Airport, Den Haag, Rotterdam Bank. I mean, we're definitely in the Netherlands. That is a road. So, I mean, that's quite a wide road as well. There's clearly going to be some relatively modern cars around, although annoyingly I can't see what cars they have. Ah dear. I mean, this is some kind of parade, isn't it? So I can't really judge anything by their dress sense because they're just dressed up as people from prior eras. I mean, we've had one in the 80s. I'm very tempted to go the 70s. Again, I can't bring myself to go later than the 80s because it's black and white, but it doesn't look to me like it's going to be any older than the 70s. Yeah, I mean, there's road signs. There's plenty of roads, plenty of cars, rather. I was going to say a pretty modern looking dog, but I mean, it could just be a black and white photo of something taken 5 years ago. The more I look at the background, it just looks a little bit older though. I'm going to go 70s. We'll go 77. Now, where am I going to go? Utrecht, Haarlem is one direction and Amsterdam is the other direction. So there's Utrecht. Where is Schiphol Airport? And where is Haarlem? There is Schiphol Airport, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Does it really say Amsterdam right, but Schiphol Airport left, even though Schiphol Airport is basically in Amsterdam? Okay, so Utrecht and Haarlem are in one direction. I'm very confused. Utrecht is left, and Haarlem is left, and Schiphol Airport is left. So in theory, that means it's going to be in Nijmegen? But then why would Amsterdam be right? Is that really what that is saying? Or is it pointing to a different place that begins AMST? Maybe it's not even pointing right, maybe it's just Or maybe it's just this city. Because theoretically you could go left and go to Utrecht this way, or you could go right and go to Amsterdam that way. Feels unlikely, but I'm not going to be a million miles off, so we'll go for this. It was 75. Group of performers recreate Rembrandt's The Night Watch. And it was just in Amsterdam, okay. So I could have got a few extra points for location by just going for the capital, as usual. But I'm very happy with a 95 out of 10, out of 100 on that, because that, I think, is my best ever score. Certainly my best ever on camera. I think I've had one really, really great performance before on camera. I'm not sure it was that great, or I'm not sure it was as great as this. That is 95%. That is practically unbeatable. I might retire from this and never do it again. Oh, that wasn't even a particularly easy one. There was only the first one that actually said the year on it. All of the others I actually had to take some educated guesses, which is not usually my forte. Wow. I'm very happy with that performance. That is TimeGuessr. Let me know how you got on with these ones. Thank you for watching. That deserves a thumbs up as well, I think. Thank you for watching, as I said, and bye for now.